Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Launched in 2018, this is the Greubel Forsey Differentiel d'égalité, a timepiece with a spherical differential that acts as a constant force device, and thus the differential applying equal force to the escapement. That's the idea, absolute chronometry. The watch features both sweep seconds and deadbeat with a 60-hour power reserve, a power reserve indicator, an angled balance beaten away at 21.6, and a large white gold case built in an addition of 33 pieces, 44 millimeters, and yet wearing so much more compact. This is one of the most wearable 44s I've encountered. Greubel Forsey probably doing more basic research and development than any independent other than, for example, de Bethune. I would say that one of their innovations is ergonomics, as on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, the watch is massive, but it wears easily. The timepiece is approximately 15.6 millimeters thick as my calipers measure it, and then from lug to lug, I mean tip to tip across the wrist, the absolute measurement is 51.7, making it one of the most accommodating Greubel Forsey watches for a small wrist. If you love Greubel but you can't do a 47, this is your watch. A 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs ensures that there's a nice proportional spacing between case width and lug width, as well as strap width and horn width. The strap is very impressive, and as you can see, Greubel Forsey drills the lugs close to the case, so the pivot point of the strap is actually closer to the center of the case and thus shorter across the wrist than the lug-to-lug dimension. But in order to provide unobstructed movement, they use a curved spring bar, which is clever design. Every detail has been considered. Lots of leather. Large rectangular scale alligator leather, thickly bolstered. You can see it's black with a semi-gloss finish, and there is a sheer cut side showing the layers of construction. Calfskin on the underside. This is a brand new Greubel Forsey factory strap. So what you're getting is the highest grade and commensurate to the quality of the watch. There is also a remarkably elaborate white gold deploying clasp. It uses an internal leaf spring, and this is probably a piece from GNF Chatelain. I recognize that particular leaf spring closure mechanism, which cinches the clasp shut for security, and I think that's Chatelain. As you can see, it is a bespoke piece for Greubel Forsey, a combination of a lovely frosted exterior and polish. The contrast is noted and appreciated. Again, no detail too small. Greubel Forsey creating a beautifully sculpted case, and I'm going to focus on the break between the case band and the lug itself. You can see how sharp it is, but also the double finish with the vertical satin on the case flank and the mirror polish on the flank of the lug. You'll also note that the lugs have a wonderful inward bowed concave profile. They bow inwards from their tip, and you can really see that from overhead, creating the look of a lush mirror in profile. The Greubel Forsey crown, deeply marked and lacquered with a sharp knurling on the outside that's a pleasure to use. You can see the case band features that vertical satin finish, the mirrored concave lug profiles, and then there is a polished lip to the case back as well as the bezel, and there's even a little bit of a countersink of the bezel below the hood of the lugs to make the watch thinner. Box section sapphire, an expensive piece to spec, as cheap sapphires generally are going to be flat and the next cheapest would be domed. So this is the good stuff, right down to the sapphire used. There is also a sapphire ring around the exterior of the watch. That bears the indices. You can see it's a shaded gloss outboard with the Arabic numeral 12 and the indices for tracking the time. So that's a sapphire, and then you get to the dial and the bridges and the plates, and as you can see, the movement, the Greubel Forsey 08 is essentially one and the same as the dial. The movement is 9.9 millimeters thick, and you can really see into it. If you view it from this angle, I'm going to do my best to show this, but there is a mirror. This is really difficult to capture. But there is a mirror adjacent to the balance that allows you to see it and appreciate it, and it's more evident in person than it is on camera. So depth effects here are second to none, and the watch is simply staggering with every single detail lavishly finished. You can see the twin stacked barrels providing the 60-hour power reserve. There is a white gold power reserve indicator track, so white gold is what that little expansive metal is. It has then been engraved and lacquered to create the numerals as well as the color you see. There is a deadbeat seconds dial, but there is also a sweep seconds dial. Let's get real close here, see if we can't give ourselves a bit more light. Keep everything in focus. It goes without saying that that balance, which is angled for better chronometric precision on the wrist, has been adjusted in 6 positions, and you could better see the deadbeat seconds and the sweep seconds existing in parallel. Now the balance has a fully rounded and black polished bridge. It's free sprung and it uses an overcoil hairspring. Chronometric precision is the concern. Now the differential itself, it's a spherical differential, it's just underneath this, well, what is effectively the cannon pinion, and the motion works at center. So it's located immediately below, and you can see it more easily when you have the watch in person. But the differential ensures constant amplitude to the balance, and this is important because as a mainspring discharges, or as it's wound to its max, it's going to have very irregular power. Too much to cause the watch to run fast at first, and then not enough, causing the watch to run slowly towards the end. So the differential is more efficient than both a spring remontoir, which gives dosed bursts of power irregularly to a balance, and it uses less power and creates less friction than the constant application of force from a fusee and chain. So it is superior to both, more efficient while offering the same constant force benefits. You can see that there is a black polished bridge underneath the constant seconds subdial, and I want to show you the watch's zero reset second system that not only stops the balance, but zero resets the seconds hand, so you can set the watch precisely against a reference time. Now you can also appreciate the fact that Greubel Forsey has a sense of theater, as the case back features the limited edition number, the name of the watch, and you can see there is a sort of black polished apparatus, and there is a lot of specular finish. Specular is black polish. You can see it right here underneath my fingers. It is perfectly mirrored, optically flawless, and there is a mirrored anglage on its edge. So not only is it black polished across its top, but it's been hand chamfered on its edge. This is how the zero reset system works. And you can see there's a lot going on the reverse side. Everything is immaculately finished. The bridges are German silver, which is a nickel copper zinc anti-corrosive alloy that has then been rhodium coated for a silvered sheen. There are jewels set in golden chaton, and you can see around the outside there is a sort of graphical compilation, each word representing in French the design and fabrication philosophy of Greubel Forsey of La Chaux de Fonds. Founded by Robert Greubel and Stephen Forsey in the early 2000s after they founded Completime, and after both worked at Audemars Piguet, Renault, and Papy, you're getting a watch with a fearsome pedigree, as 100 people at the manufacturer produce only 100 watches per year. The absolute max in exclusivity, uncompromised finishing, and dreams made real. This is Greubel Forsey. See the differentiel d'égalité and make it yours on the watch box. Greubel Forsey by night. I can't overstate the quality of the finishing and the detailing. Every screw costs 100 Swiss francs. Every surface has been lavishly finished by hand. The spokes of the wheels themselves are chamfered and their tops grained. Again, it's a watch you have to see to believe. See it on the watch box.